Today, the only local news station with nonstop news.
I know we're going to do nonstop news, but man, we had such a great trip down memory lane during the commercial break. I can guarantee you, with everything I have, that Joy has never seen Dukes of Hazzard. Nonstop news starts right now. We are the only TV station in town commercial free all the way up to the top of the hour.
We have you covered this morning, including a look at traffic with Joy and a look at your weather with Jeannette. Good morning, Jeannette.
Good morning. I have seen the Dukes of
I know
Hazzard.
you
In
have.
fact,
Yes.
it was one of my favorite shows. All right, let's talk weather. We are looking at warm and muggy conditions this morning. The cloud cover is also out there. Raul B. Rodriguez Lot weather camera. 80 degrees, feels like it's 85. Warm, humid air coming up from the south. It is a little breezy, a wind speed at 10 miles an hour. At the bus stop this morning, should be dry. However, pack the umbrella because after school, I do expect some rainfall. Not everyone will see the rain, but there will be a few spots that will see a couple showers, maybe a thunderstorm, and it's those storms that could produce some pockets of heavy rain. We'll make it to the mid-90s early in the afternoon, and then late in the day, temperatures drop into the upper 80s. The eastern zone and the hill country look for a 60% rain chance, 40% in the western zone. Tomorrow, temperatures will be a lot lower. The humidity will be dropping. Friday morning's lows will be back into the 60s. Lots of changes tracking the weather maker, the front that's going to help to produce some rain later today. Your full forecast, 7-day forecast, coming up in just under 10 minutes.
All right, pretty quiet morning so far. We had some construction overnight. Since then, all of that has cleared, but we are left with a couple of minor issues. We do have an accident reported on the southwest side of San Antonio. This is on South Cross Boulevard and Quintana Road. I will say not really causing a delay. I don't think there's enough traffic going through that particular area to where it's really going to slow us down, but there is part of the road blocked off there. Downtown I-35 northbound is closed at South Alamo Street, and we are now up to about a 15-minute delay there, and that is spilling out onto Highway 90 as well. Zooming out, you'll notice a couple of other hot spots across San Antonio as we approach rush hour, but no other major lane closures that we know of. We do know that photojournalist David Mendoza, here he is, okay, live from Sky 4. He was tracking something that he had caught wind of, and it looks like he's now arrived. Good morning, David.
Hi, good morning. Very good eye. This is actually South Cross and Quintana Road. Reports of a MV ped, so a pedestrian struck by a vehicle. Sometimes they can be motorcycle accidents. I'm not seeing a motorcycle on scene. I have seen one person being transported and put to this paramedic unit. It looked like he had a neck brace on, so maybe some substantial injuries there. This white vehicle in the middle of the screen that you see might be the vehicle involved. The good news about this is that I did see a driver of this vehicle stop and render aid if they did in fact hit this person. But yes, you're correct. Lanes blocked in Quintana Road southbound, but not a whole lot of traffic to really build up in this area. This is the far south side right next to Kelly. I'm going to continue downtown. I'll let you know how that looks momentarily. Back to you.
Okay, David, thank you. We appreciate it. So that certainly sheds some light on what's happening in that area. We'll continue to follow the situation for you with your on-time traffic.
Joy, thank you. New this morning, an empty home caught fire on the west side. It happened just before 10 Tuesday night on Lyon Street near North Hamilton Avenue. Firefighters put out the fire quickly and no injuries were reported. They say the cause was accidental.
Developing right now, a confusing situation for police. They went to two separate locations looking for one suspect.
Tawny Davis is live right now to break it down for us. Good morning, Tawny.
Good morning. A very confusing situation indeed, as police thought that a suspect was in a West Side apartment. They even brought SWAT in and they were there for hours, but it turns out he wasn't even there. But this is what we know right now, according to police. They were first called to a shooting over on Torreon early afternoon yesterday, where a man said to have been hit in the head multiple times after trying to stop a fight between another man and a woman. The man involved in the domestic dispute, described as a black man in his 30s, ran away after police say he got a shotgun and fired it at the other man. Then a separate incident was called in about a fight on San Fernando Street, but was a similar story involving the same suspect from the previous call. Now, during that call on San Fernando, the suspect was believed to be at an apartment where SWAT was then brought in. However, the suspect was not found, and police are describing it as all mayhem breaking loose. So initially it was also believed that a child was involved in the shooting, but police say no one was hurt. They are now still looking for that suspect, that black man in his 30s as they are describing him, and he is facing a multitude of charges including assault and aggravated assault. Reporting live, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
All right, Tawny, thank you. Camp Mystic will reopen next summer. Camp leaders releasing a statement saying its 2 sites will be open. The camp says, quote, "We are working to implement new safety protocols and changes that comply with the requirements of the recently passed camp safety legislation, the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act." That, of course, is in honor of the 27 little girls who died in the Those will include banning cabins in dangerous flood zones and requiring detailed emergency plans from staff. The workers will also be better trained to handle disasters like what we saw. They also will be required to maintain emergency warning systems. Camp Mystic says the Guadalupe River site and the Cypress Lake site will both be open, and a memorial will be built to honor the girls who died.
Uvalde police confirmed that the congressional staffer of Tony Gonzales was alone in her backyard when she caught fire. 35-year-old Regina Santos Aviles was the Uvalde Regional District Director for Representative Gonzales. She died September 14th, one day after the fire. Police say they have no evidence at this time to suggest anyone else was involved. They're waiting on reports from the DPS Crime Lab and the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office to determine her exact cause of death.
It is 6:47 now on this Wednesday morning. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs help finding whoever hit and killed a man walking across the street last weekend. No information yet on the victim. We're working to get that for you, but we do know the suspect was driving a vehicle, what looks to be like that, a white Toyota Tundra. Deputies say the truck would have had major damage to the right side, also be missing part of the front fender. Crash happened early Sunday morning, about 1 a.m. or so. This was along State Highway 16 South near Poteet. If you know anything, call the Sheriff's Office. Also, we have details this morning about a fiery crash just south of San Antonio. 2 people died in that. It happened Monday along 35 in Cotulla in LaSalle County. The LaSalle County Sheriff's Office posting that video, or that picture rather, right there. Look at that. It shows the fire and the just blaze that engulfed that vehicle. Pickup truck rear-ended a tractor trailer. Both caught fire. After the fire was put out, first responders did find 2 people inside of the truck. The driver of the trailer was hurt, but not significant injuries. The government has exactly 1 week to figure out a deal or risk a government shutdown. The president's supposed to meet with congressional Democrats to negotiate, but he canceled that meeting. House Democrats not happy.
Shame on the Republicans for skipping town, canceling votes, walking away from meetings, and being unwilling to even be present in Washington, D.C. to vote to keep the government open.
President Trump says he feels meeting with the Democrats would be a waste of time. Democrats want health care funding guarantees at a time when Republicans want to reduce government spending. House Speaker Mike Johnson says that Democrats are trying to push their own agenda into the budget.
Chuck Schumer and the Democrats issued a counteroffer, and the counteroffer is filled with poison pills and partisan demands that will break the system down, and Chuck Schumer knows that.
So this is the same back and forth, it seems, that we always hear between both sides. The House has already passed a spending bill. It has stalled, however, in the Senate. The House has gone on break until Monday, leaving very little wiggle room for negotiations.
Senate Democrats are demanding more information after the Department of Justice ended a corruption investigation into border czar Tom Homan. Homan allegedly accepted $50,000 from an undercover FBI agent in exchange for federal contracts in a second Trump administration. The New York Times reports the encounter was recorded on audio tape. Democrats are requesting the recording be given to Congress and made public. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Homan did nothing wrong.
This was another example of the weaponization of the Biden Department of Justice against one of President Trump's strongest and most vocal supporters in the midst of a presidential campaign.
Senate Democrats made the request in a letter sent to top Justice Department and FBI officials. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche have said they found no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing. Major League Baseball is ushering in the era of robot umpires. The league's competition committee voted Tuesday to start a new challenge system in the 2026 season. Human umpires will still call the shots, but teams will be allowed to refer to the ABS system, which is short for automated balls and strikes. This same technology is used to call lines in professional tennis and was tested in the minor leagues in recent years.
It doesn't feel like fall, but the calendar says it is, and the Spurs have started. At least they will very soon. Training camp starts next week, and for fans, the season cannot come soon enough. Social media accounts for the team posting this video here yesterday with a caption, "Getting closer." Players have been working out now for weeks at the Rock, getting ready for the season. And as I said, it'll be here in less than a month. How about this? Some key dates to remember. Media Day Monday, training camp on Tuesday it begins. Preseason opener is October 6th. Regular season opener in Dallas, October 22nd. And then the home opener, October 26th against the Brooklyn Nets.
Now your certified most accurate four-zone weather with meteorologist Jeannette.
A cool front is approaching, expected here later this afternoon. Let's take a look at how this will impact our area weather-wise. So, still hot today ahead of the front. I do expect highs to climb into the low and mid-90s. Heat index temperatures, since it's still going to be quite humid, up over 100 degrees. The front looks to arrive in San Antonio as early as 1 o'clock this afternoon, as late as 4. Scattered showers and thunderstorms with the front. Some of the storms could be strong. I do believe that the strongest storms will be south of Highway 90. That's where storms could produce wind gusts 40 to 60 miles an hour and locally heavy rain, which could cause some isolated flash flooding. Here's the front right now. Hasn't moved so much in the past few hours, but it extends from the Ohio Valley back across the desert southwest. It is stretched across central Texas. Most of the activity right now in terms of rain is just behind the front. There's a cluster of storms moving across northern and central Texas. This has some very heavy rain. Not seeing any severe weather like I saw earlier, but this is some good rain and also some frequent cloud to ground lightning. Behind the front, winds have shifted to the north, and that's ushering in some cooler, less humid air. Temperatures have dropped into the 50s in the Panhandle. We're ahead of the front this morning, so that's why it's warm and humid with winds coming up from the south. But once the front pushes through, you notice the change in air masses. The wind will pick up, temperatures will drop a bit, and the humidity will start to fall as well. No wet roads this morning. However, as we go through the day, especially this afternoon, we'll start to see the rain developing as early as midday, clouds with maybe a shower or thunderstorm in the hill country. Closer to 2, 3, 4 p.m., I do believe we'll see some showers and storms near Highway 90. Could see some wet roads here for the evening drive home. And then later on tonight through early tomorrow morning, we'll see perhaps another wave of showers and thunderstorms, focusing primarily across our southern counties. For the rest of the day, Thursday, the winds turn around to the north. Humidity will be a lot lower, and high temperatures tomorrow will be in the 80s. Late today, level 1 severe weather risk anywhere in the shaded area. There could be those gusty storms that produce the high winds. Again, my take is that the better chance for those stronger storms will be off towards the south, and where those storms set up is where we'll see the 1.5 to 2+ inches of rainfall. Here in San Antonio, as little as a few hundredths of an inch to as much as an inch of rain. More warmth and humidity this morning, mostly cloudy until 8. Then we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. We'll make it to the low and mid-90s early in the afternoon before temperatures drop into the 80s. Should see that chance for rain increasing after 2 p.m. 60% rain chance in the hill country and the eastern zone, 40% in the western zone. Make sure you have that 4-zone weather app. 30% rain chance tomorrow morning, the rest of the week into the weekend, including early next week. It'll be drier. Temperatures will be in the 60s Friday morning with afternoon highs after today in the upper 80s near 90. Here's the extended forecast for everybody else. Make sure you have that 4-zone weather app today. It'll come in handy.
All right, it's getting busy downtown. We already had some construction closures in that area, and now we also have reports of an accident in the eastbound lanes of I-10. That's at Probant, maybe causing about a 10-minute delay, but we also know that part of that delay is because of the construction closures on I-35. Those northbound lanes closed at South Alamo Street, and that's causing about a 15 to 20-minute delay on I-35 that also spills all over onto Highway 90 I-10 there. Photojournalist David Mendoza is live above the downtown area right now. Good morning, David.
Hello, here we are looking at 37 North, busier traffic in the downtown area. No major accidents on 37, 35, or 90 East in the downtown area. Always good news. I'll leave you with that. Drive safe, have a great Wednesday, and back to you.
All right, David, thank you. We appreciate it. That's the latest from Sky 4 and your on-time traffic.
All right, guys, thanks. About 5 minutes now before 7 a.m. NASA says its next crewed Artemis moon mission could launch as early as February, no later than April. The Artemis 2 mission is expected to be a 10-day crewed mission that will take 4 astronauts in an orbit around the moon. It's a way to essentially pave the way for Artemis 3, a crewed landing of Americans on the moon.
As you know, the goal is to stay and establish a sustained presence on the moon. So we think it's important that we establish a sort of playbook for what you might consider interplanetary travel.
The Artemis 3 mission is on track to launch sometime in 2027, and all that, of course, is a way to get them back on track to where eventually they are trying to have a crewed mission to Mars.
Do you believe in all that space stuff?
Do I believe that there's planets out there?
Like other life on the planets?
Oh, how much time do we have? I don't know if there's little green men running around and like lightsabers and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But you know, I mean, it's a pretty big universe.
It is. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah?
I do agree with you.
But you don't believe, Jeannette thinks, I mean, Jeanette's very much into the little green men theory.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. I'll talk to her about it.
Yeah,
but I
sure.
do think there's a big universe and other life forms,
Well,
whatever that means.
Starting on Mars is a good way to go.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at noon.